destroying.
It came up a few times yesterday how the thinking is trying to understand and it just can't. But it tries in a really clever way. It tries, maybe it realizes it can't understand certain things, but it tries to understand other things. Or the thinking tries to get it, and perhaps it realizes that it can't get certain things, and then it tries to get some on a kind of more sneaky, higher level. It still tries to get it, or it's waiting for it, or hoping for it. And we have to realize again and again that this wonderful tool of the thinking, although it is very creative and has many useful functions, it is limited when it comes to knowing who you are, the nature of life, how it all works. But I don't want to dishonor the thinking. I don't want to kind of dismiss it and make it the enemy, because really it is this very useful tool. It is a servant that really loves to offer its services of support and explanation and protection. It loves to come with all kinds of reasons and complications in all kinds of wonderful ways. And for living in the world, for being someone in this play of life, we often need the thinking. Because this play of life, it seems as if it is the play, as if there is separation. It seems as if there are these separate bodies that come together and do different things and have different unique flavors. And for practical things, for work or various daily issues that we have to deal with, the thinking is very helpful. It's very good at labeling separate objects, at remembering the past and reminding us of something from the past that we should remember. It's very good at projecting into the future and imagining a certain pathway that we need to maybe go through. But whatever it does, we should always acknowledge that although it's this magnificent servant, it is not in charge. And this is really a big shift from the usual way of seeing the thinking in our society, in our world. Usually the thinking is respected as being the one that knows it all. And if you come with some perfect theory, then we try to fit it to reality and assume that there's some importance and seriousness in this theory. But the thinking really doesn't know what is going on here in this life. It's trying its best to know, for sure. And it often thinks it knows, or at least pretends to know. But its basic function is as a survival tool for these animals. These are animals, right? And we need to survive in this world. And the thinking is a kind of sophisticated way to try to survive in the world. So I say all this so that we really honour the thinking, but at the same time we don't put it up there on the pedestal to worship. We honour the thinking for its nature. Its nature is to think, and it must think. It's its job. So for some of you, maybe most of you who feel that you have a very busy mind and you would like it to stop so that you could find peace, well, first of all, the nature of the thinking is to think. So to try to stop that is like trying to make water dry. It's not its nature. But we can see that it's not in charge. And when we see that it's not in charge, then whatever blah 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 it's saying, we don't even bother pushing it away because it's not that important. We don't even bother trying to get rid of it or making it the enemy, because actually who cares what it's saying? It's just like, I kind of like to see it a bit like a joker at a court, I don't know if you Dutch people understand what I mean. Yeah? Understand? Okay, good. Kind of an entertainer. It has many roles, but that's one of its roles. Another one of its roles is the guard at the door, the very vigilant protector with its sword. And that, it all has its valid place. And also the child. There are many forms of this thinking. And it all has its valid place, and it's something to look at. We can look at the thinking, we can look at how it plays out and how important it has been taken, and its role in this human life. But as we look at it, we're looking from the seeing that is who you are, that is life itself, that sees it all. So instead of putting the thinking up there as it's so important and serious, we see the thinking as just another phenomena, like everything else, like the floor, like the wall. Thoughts are just another object in this play of life. So we don't trash it. We just bring it down to zero. It's been up there, as being so important, and we just bring it down to the same level as everything else. And just to say something about emotions. What are emotions? They are physical sensations with thought stories. Right? So in the end it comes back again to thought. Because when we are believing that the thoughts are really important and serious and meaningful and mean something about me, then whatever emotion comes will also be believed to mean something about me and be taken seriously. But if you can see emotions in the same way as thoughts, that they are another phenomenon, also not to be dismissed, to very much be felt, and they are very much included in the play of life of this human, but they are not, they don't know it all, they're not so important, they don't have a higher importance than anything else. And the truth is that no matter what thought says about the emotions or about anything, is that thought doesn't know, actually. So thought may have something to say, but it's not necessarily the truth. So we don't take everything that thought says to be the truth. We take it as a servant really wanting to help. So we respect it, we listen to it, but also we don't have to always move from it or live from it. And the one who is seeing thought is you. Not you, the person. You as in life itself. Not separate from the person, of course, but that seeing. Sees thought, sees emotion, sensation, sees the whole play of experience. And not one bit of it is more or less important than any other bit. It is all of equal value. So usually we're hanging on to thought because thought is being believed to be me, actually. The me thought is really being assumed to be of the highest value because it's me. And when we look at this me, when we investigate, usually there are some beliefs about this me, certain qualities, certain characteristics, and but each quality or characteristic stems off a more, let's say, a root belief in a me. But this root belief is just a thought, and just another phenomena like the wall. Whereas we have believed that that me thought is of higher value, higher importance. So I'm not saying that it has no value, it's just another object. So when there's a me thought, okay, so what? What's all the excitement? It's just, like a bit of dirt on the floor. It's the same value, same importance. So, really seeing the nature of thought, I find is very helpful. Normally we're trying to get it. We're trying to become more aware of, trying to arrive at this awareness. But the it actually can't be grasped because it's nothing. There's nothing there, nothing tangible for thought to say, okay, I've got it, or for me to say, I've arrived at it. So we work the other way around. Rather look at what you're not. That you're not all the thoughts, all the things that thought says. Rather look at the nature of thought, how it's creating identities after identities. Assuming that this is me, and this is me, and this is me. And always in your interactions, you're looking to know, who am I? Can you show me? Can you tell me? And this comes up in these kind of childhood mechanisms, the survival mechanisms. Am I good enough? Do you love me? Am I a bad person? Have I done it right? The basic question is, who am I? That's what we're always asking each other, indirectly. And in everything we do, we're looking to know, who am I? If I do this right, does that make me a certain kind of person? We take on a role, whether it's through work or family role or spiritual role, and we start to slowly believe that that's who we are. Maybe with different people, you feel like you're a different identity. I know I always used to find that very confusing, especially as a young person, how different I would be with different people. And I was always in the search of it. What is the authentic me? Who am I really? If with this person I'm really outgoing and expressive, and with this person I'm really shy, or this person I like to say or do this, and who am I? What's real in all of this? And it's a relief to realize that none of it's real, that or you could say all of it's real, that these identities are just ways of being in the world, and that none of it is really me. Or you could say it's all really me. It's just that not one, I'm never going to find one identity that is the real me. So that's why we were talking, I think, on the first day about authenticity and how actually everything is fake. This is really how it is, that nothing in this play of experience and separation, that not one identity that I play is the real me. So knowing that means that these identities can come and go very fluidly. They do already. So then it's just a matter of seeing that it's not a problem. They can come and go. I'm not this and I'm not that, and I'm not this and I'm not that. I'm not anything that thought says I am. And that goes for even in spirituality. When thought says, I'm awareness. Okay, thanks very much, thought. That's kind of sounds good, sounds true. But when it's thought saying it, it's not true. Even if the word is apparently true, it's still coming from thought. It's a helpful thought. And sometimes helpful thoughts are useful for a while, these kinds of thoughts which say, for example, I'm not this person, or even the thoughts that say, with this question, who am I? It's a very useful thought, a useful question to ask yourself. But the answers are never in thought. So whatever thought says, we have to take it very lightly. Just take it with a pinch of salt. We don't take it seriously. And it's a delicate balance with this, because thought has a lot to say. It has a lot to protect. And certain identities have been taken very much to heart, as if I lose this one, then I'll really be lost. It'll be really terrifying. So we have to delicately look at these identities, and in their own time we unpick some of these identities. But there's no rush. They fall, maybe let's say not fall away, but they are seen for what they are. They don't ever need to really fall away. All of the identities that I have known in myself since childhood, they're all still here. And they're all absolutely welcome to be here forever. There's no need to get rid of any of it, because it's all just thought. It's not me. So it's a big happy family here. And at different times, there's different ones that take center stage. But who I really am is aware of all of them. And none of them are a problem or something to fix. And also, none of them are particularly special. They're just like, oh, okay, this one's filling the space at the moment. Okay. And in this retreat here, as we come together with this focus on pointing to our true nature, waking up to who we are, and the living of that, we really are exploring this delicate balance, this paradox. paradox of how thought needs to make sure there's a sense of safety before it lets go. And the only real safety is who you really are. So that's it, in a way, how we're exploring together here in these dialogues. But I better stop talking now.
All this trying